Here we go. Hi, Julie.
Hello. Hello, Tina. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Welcome. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. Happy
Yes.
September.
Happy September. Yes, we're halfway almost through, right? It's getting
And
close anyway.
yeah, yeah, because it's the 13th already. That's hard to
Right?
believe. I
I
know.
know.
I know. And
Hang in there.
as we're
Yes.
waiting for, well, no one's here yet.
Okay, so it's just that's good. I'm gonna
It's just
find
us.
it.
We're waiting for people to come and watch. Hopefully.
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 Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's
Where's
kind of a
everyone?
blah day though. I think everybody's feeling that heaviness that I'm feeling. Like
Hmm.
muted, right? Like just
Yeah, you
feeling.
said muted. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I feel
Well,
that
here we
way.
go.
We here, let's
We've got
see.
one.
Who's our magic lucky number one?
Can you see?
No, not yet. Here we go. Now I see. There we go. See, the computer's as slow as I
Yeah.
Hi, Nivolin. I think we went through that before, didn't we?
I think so,
With the
Nivelin.
name
Yeah.
Nivolin. Yes.
I'm
How are
gonna
you?
say I don't know because I know some languages we pronounce the vowels
That's right.
differently, right?
That's right. And
So
there's my
excuse our
beautiful
English.
mother. Hi,
Hmm.
Mom, Doreen, and Millen.
Oh, it's
Hi.
nice. I'm glad you're here. I hope all is
Yes.
well with you, sweetheart.
Ah.
Um,
So, September, here we are in the September energies.
yeah,
We knew they weren't going to be easy. Yes.
and before we go on,
Yes.
it's almost a week past. It's our anniversary.
Happy anniversary. 1 year.
To 1 year we've been on air, we've been doing this,
That's
and
right.
we've learned a lot.
A whole lot.
Yeah, and I'm as you can tell, we're not like on the up and up because we don't have any special decorations or
No.
anything. We're kind of lazy about it.
You got
You
the
can
thing
tell
in
we're not
memory, though.
professional. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We
But
suck.
anyways, it's been a year, just over a year we've been doing this, and we love it,
Oh my
and
gosh, yes. It's
mhm.
been so fun getting to know all of you guys. We've built this little community here, which has done wonders for me. It's been a really, really hard time, year at least. So,
Mhm. Yeah,
so this has
yeah,
been wonderful for me. Yes,
yeah,
thank you
and
all.
yeah, and all of you guys, are a big part of that. We want you to be part of that celebration because we do get beautiful comments from you guys saying how much the show me,
Mhm.
and we don't know that because we're not professionals and we don't follow a script. We don't have no crew. Like we're just
No, just
Julie and I.
us.
Like we're
Yeah,
just yeah. So that means a lot to us, and yeah, you guys, are part of this celebration. So thank you.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Thank you all so much.
yeah,
So, yeah,
yeah,
1 year. Happy 1 year. Hello,
yeah,
Jessica. How are you doing?
yeah.
Yes.
So I guess we'll get going. We're going to talk about the energies for the collective. So I know there's going to be people coming on. They, get a little confused or, don't understand that of the title. So it's not individual readings. It's we're sharing messages for everybody. Okay, and what we pick up on, not only intuitively, but with the numerology, the tarot, the spirit animal. And so we'll talk about that. Those in the audience, you're welcome to share, whether that's a comment, you have a question, you have an insight, because I believe, we all have intuition. So if you feel something and you want to share that, go, share away. We'll talk about that. So, yeah.
Yes, please. That's my favorite
Mhm.
thing is when I hear what you guys are going through because
Yeah.
I feel like you and I go through the same things, honestly. So when I'm
Yeah.
feeling this way, I know everyone's probably feeling this kind of
Yeah.
heaviness or, yeah,
Yeah.
tiredness or whatever. So
Yeah.
let's talk about
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah. So September is a number 5 month in numerology. And I also look at all the numbers. So like the year is a 5, the month is a 5, and then September's the ninth month. So it's heavy. and can feel really intense. At the core is, I feel like our freedom, our rights and freedoms are front and center this month. And I don't know how many people listen to the news or pay attention to headlines or social media, because it comes in all formats, all these stories. But there's some really, big decisions and events happening.
Yeah.
A lot of people feeling like it's, rights are being taken away. And then people on the other spectrum, saying, well, it's to benefit our freedom to come and go as we please, or our freedom, so it's not about taking sides. It's for, what we're sharing. It's not about, we're not siding with anyone. We're just trying to share like all perspectives and how maybe the energies affects everyone, right? No matter where you stand, your belief system. So that's what we try to do.
Yeah. But at the core
right?
is the humanitarian in us, the freedom seeking being that we are. We live these vibrational patterns, our stories are our vibrational patterns. So we stay within that pattern within our lifetime. And during these disruptions, those patterns get disrupted. We're not working at the same place. We're not living with the same people. There's big changes that have been happening, not just since COVID, but even a little bit, as you and I say before then.
Yeah.
I think since about 2008, we started shifting, right?
I agree.
Right.
Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, I totally agree. I feel like, how I see it is like, let's say our world is a yarn ball. And then 2008, it's like somebody came and like pulled the, how there's that loose string, and it's like, and then things have just been unraveling since then. Right? And it's just getting more and more like as each year progresses.
Yes,
so personally, I feel like my life's been unraveling since 2008.
Me too.
Right?
Yeah.
And then the world, has been, I feel, has been unraveling. Yeah, I totally agree with that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we had these vibrational patterns going, throughout our lives. And then that little blip, like you say, that little tug on the fabric starts going. And so you start shifting and going through all these changes. But when we talk about shifting and energy shifting, to me, that is all vibrational. It's all a shift up. We're trying to elevate the collective out of some of these heavier and dense vibrations that are so low. And the way to get a collective low, honestly, is through fear. It's through fear of losing their rights, of losing their freedom. So I know I never watch the news ever, and yet it's in my everyday life. Even at the grocery store, you're hearing everyone's stories, and what they're going through. So it gets you. You can't just say, I don't watch the news, so I'm not affected. But you really are affected. Everyone on this planet is affected by this.
That's right. That's right. And and I, like, for me, it's like I have people reaching out to me and sending me stuff on social media, and it's like, oh my God, right? Like it's upsetting to me what I'm. And
very upsetting, especially in these times when laws are being implemented to infringe upon us. So scary. So there's that fear vibration. So we've all been on that. We've all been fearful of the future and not living so much in the moment.
And and the number 5 energy does not like to be controlled.
No.
So it's rebellious. It's going to push back. It's going to defy. And excuse my language, the 5 energy is like, fuck the man, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right.
So it's interesting because it's like, well, all these restrictions are being placed, right? Like they are being put down, and it's like, what's going to come out of it. So it's like, okay, when's going to be the pushback, or how is it's going to all unfold? So it might not all happen this month. It could be like down the road somehow, right?
Right.
So it'll be interesting.
Well, it will be interesting. We've got to really learn how to harness our focus, though. We really do. You have to really micromanage your focus at these times, right? Like something you like to do, something that gives you peace in a moment. If it's sitting outside for a moment, or or crocheting or, playing cards or whatever it is, do that more and more, because there's so much external differences and divisions. The divisions just getting, the more we try to bring the other over to our side, the bigger the divide gets. So like you and I were talking about, even just talking about the issue, it brings on headaches for me. It does. It brings on stomach aches for me, and these anxiety, my cortisol just starts climbing, but I've always been anxious, like an anxious person in general. So when you're feeling the wave of anxiousness that the world is exuding right now, it's unsettling,
And what was I going to say? Like I feel it in my stomach.
Right.
Yeah.
You've been
like,
having that issue.
What was I going to say? So it's communicate. When you said like creative. So 5 is a creative energy too. So it's like, okay, what can you do? And I also want to say music.
Yes.
Because I've been hearing a lot of, like, when I wrote the forecast and there was some themes that came through, and I'm like, that's a song, like, and that's a song. So like, like one of the themes was like taking it to the streets, and it's like, that's a song.
Yeah.
That's by the Doobie. I don't know how, we know because that's our generation. Like it's by the Doobie Brothers, right?
That's right.
And it's like, I keep hearing that song, and Don't Be Fooled was another thing. And it's like, then I hear the Rolling Stones song, You're a Fool to Cry. I think that's the name of the song. But anyways, but it's interesting. So I'm going to say like music, especially rock and roll.
Yes.
Something creative, like to get it out, like taking an action. It's almost like meditation. Like meditation is good, but in a way, sitting in the quiet is not going to help this month. It's like you have to do some sort of action to get rid of the anxiety or the fear or the worry, like whatever you're feeling, right? Sure. It could even be talking about it. Like if there's someone in your circle that, you can like express how you're feeling, then do that too, right? So or put it in the comments here. Put your
tell us.
Tell us right now.
Hello to Becca and Hazel and Eleanor. I'm so glad you guys came. And thank you so much for your kind comments too. But Becca keeps dreaming of a letter. And I was just reading this morning how these energies, these vibrations then, so they're kind of bombarding us all during the day. They're like radio waves, hitting you.
Yeah.
And energetically too. It's not even all the time things that we're watching or perceiving or hearing. It's just an energy, right? Everything is energy. We're all energy. We have all these auras that we are emitting as we're just living our life. We are pure energy. Yeah. So that is absolutely seeping into our dream life as well. I've heard so many people saying lately they've had these weird dreams and this recurring dream, or demons in their dreams, or they're afraid to go to sleep because it's all working itself out in our subconscious too as well. So, but a letter obviously means information. Maybe you're waiting for something, or something's coming in for you too. A letter can be very specific.
Yeah, there's news.
There's news for sure. No matter what. Hello, Simone.
And dream. That is interesting.
And sometimes in your dreams,
it's almost like she's waiting. Like I'm wondering, I'm wondering if she's waiting for a sign or waiting for some sort of news before moving forward, or moving ahead in your life. So I don't know if that makes sense for you, Becca. You can say like yes, no.
And sometimes it makes me think when we're dreaming too, we're managing our expectations too. So maybe there's messages too that you're expecting, like, we talked about that a while ago at Christmas time, remember, of managing our expectations of what is going to happen, what information is coming to us. We're so busy as psychics too, reading cards and everything, of seeing the future, that, we have to remember that it's all in the now. It's all in the now moment too. It's happening now to us. So don't forget that too. So information for sure, but something enlightening for you. Yes.
And I mean, I've had some quite the dreams too lately, and even some things it's almost like about, I want to say like in time. like in current time. So it's like, let's say there's somebody in my life, and then I'll dream about them, and it's something about current, like going on right now between us, or going on in the lives right now. And it's like, oh my gosh, like I'm dreaming about the now in my dream, right? Like, I don't know how to explain it, but that's, that's happening. So that could be common with,
Jessica just made a major career change, an add-on at least. And, right now, Jessica, too, in this energy, new things, really, we need new. We need to expand our lives. And what is interesting to us, it's kind of part of that to really narrow your focus right now on things that you're really enjoying instead of taking in all the external. So yes, it's a great decision to expand things into your life now. Don't give up things that are giving you joy or peace or safety, like a job or something like this. Make your decisions wisely here, but definitely include more in your life and see where that leads you, because there's always an open door when you're starting something new, even if it's not there, right?
Yeah. And, and I think, that's interesting. Like, I want to say, like, it's in, like, September, I find is a month where a lot of people embark, right? Like, there's a sense of like, they're almost like reviewing their life, and it's like, okay, what direction do I want to go in now? It's almost like, trying to start new beginnings, like more in September than January, I find. So it's like interesting how that happens.
Yeah.
I also want to say is like, we got to stop. Oh, she's going to the Army Reserve. I don't know what that is.
Oh my, Jessica. That is a big decision. Yeah. Good for you.
I want to say, I think we gotta heal like this sense of like, are we doing the right thing or not? Right?
Yes. Questioning ourselves. Yeah.
Yeah. Or second guessing. And it's almost like, in that moment, it must have felt good, or there must have been a good reason why.
That's right.
And
that's good, Tina.
And, I want to say we can always change our mind. We get hung up. It's like, we got to be loyal. We got to be dedicated, especially when it doesn't work. Or it doesn't fit. And it's like, and I get that because it's fear, right? It's a fear of like making the wrong decision, or making a mistake, or, whatever, or having to backtrack, or wasting time, whatever it is. And we got to start healing that. Yeah, we got to start healing.
Yeah, it's okay to be wrong. It's okay to make the wrong decision. That's how we learn. That's how we grow.
That's right.
That's how we know how to do the right thing. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Of course it's right. I know, me too. I'm a huge second guesser. I have to have it. When I make a decision, I do stick to it. And I'm so bad at that. I am learning to change that, because it's not a good trait. Yeah.
No, it isn't.
Got to evolve. Yeah.
That's right. Okay.
No more second guessing yourself, Jessica.
Right. Yeah. So some of the other messages that came through. So fighting words, and you had something, because we were just, what was your phrase you thought you were picking up on?
War of the words. A word
so war. Very similar.
Yes. Yeah. I kept picking up on that word war.
Yeah. So, and fighting words. So I want to say they both relate. And so for us, like fighting words or war of words, it's like argumentative, right? So we might get into verbal arguments, will be high or more likely. And it doesn't matter if it's with people we know well or not. Even like I find, with some of these governments or agencies, they've got fighting words, like, they're fighting, with what's going on, right? Like they're so kind of threatening, and then the people, So, I mean, it's sometimes, we just blab things out, or we say things we don't mean. That's the human thing. Mm-hmm. But I just want to say, like, if you can be mindful of what you say, especially in the heat of the moment, if you can like stop yourself and take, remove, so you don't get caught up in the war of words or the fighting words, then I recommend that, right?
Take a step back, really take a step back, especially when you're feeling the intensity to get your feeling out, your emotion expressed. when you're feeling that kind of intensity, when you're feeling like you're tongue tied or you can't get it out right, or you're not portraying yourself the way you want, just take a step back, just stop, because it's just self-defeating at this moment, because then you're confused yourself, so just take a step back, and you don't have to reply. Not everything requires a reply.
No.
We just stopped listening to understand anymore. We're just listening to reply anymore. And we got to just stop and listen to understand rather than reply to that,
Yeah. And I go on Facebook because I've got, the business page, of course.
Yeah.
I'm not on there every day, but I mean, I've noticed people are posting stuff that it's really mean. The words are mean right now.
I've seen 2 of these bashing posts that I was like, wow. Yeah.
And
shocking.
Yeah. And I'm trying to think, there was somewhere else.
Everyone's like drunk texting anymore, You remember when you used to
No, people are mad, and it's like they are like being, well, I don't know. I just want to say mean with their words.
Yeah, very, very mean with their words. Yeah. Just cutting, very cutting.
Yeah.
And it cuts a whole sector of people when you're spewing your anger like that. There's just no reason for it. There's really no reason for it. That's when you need to take a step back, because you're not getting your point across correctly at that time.
No, and you're escalating the argument instead of diffusing it, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, what good is it serving? Like, what good is it doing? And it's almost like, whose hand are we playing into, right?
Yeah.
Because it just feels like this is the decade. Okay, when I look at the numbers, I'm not just focusing on this year, but the whole decade, 2020 to 2030. This is a decade where we're supposed to come together.
Mm-hmm.
And but there seems to be more division. Now, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, well, maybe that's how it's supposed to play out, because a lot of times we have to go through the crap.
Yeah,
or the worst things to elevate or to heal it, right? Or to come together. So maybe there's a reason why there's so much division. I'm hoping that it'll create peace and togetherness.
Right.
Yeah. But I want to say, I get it. Like, I've been mad. Okay. So you know what I've done? I've gone in my car, okay, by myself, and I've gone for a drive, and my windows are up, and I've been like, because I like to swear. So I've been like F-bombing whatever's been getting me mad. And, no one can hear me. No, and then I come home and it's like, I got that all off my chest. I feel so much better. And I didn't hurt anyone, right? And then I even did like a protection prayer, like afterwards, okay, I send it to the universe. It's cleared and healed and gone, right? Whatever, cutting the cords after. But that's what I recommend, because we have to verbalize. This is a month where we're verbalizing a lot. The words are in focus. So if you need to get it out verbally, I go somewhere where it's just you.
Yes.
And you get it out that way. Like, you get mad not at the mirror. Don't do it in front of the mirror. I don't like that. Because it's like you're looking at your reflection. You don't want it coming back to you.
Right. The car is great.
Yeah. So it could be like, that's why it's like in the car or whatever. Yeah.
And
punching bag.
I sing, really loud. Sing a song really loud. Something, just get it out, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And we have to, right? Like, you can't feel better, or I'm from the premise, you can't feel positive or feel better if I'm saying this wrong. You can't get to be in a positive or better place if you're feeling negative or terrible about something, because that's lingering, that's underlying, right? So it's like, you got to get that out, and then you'll feel better. Does that make sense?
Yes, like a good cry.
Yeah.
Yes, I absolutely agree.
Yeah. So now, because the words are in focus, so that, of course, there's a lot of themes. It's all connected to words. So like messages, messenger. Mm-hmm. I saw the Greek god Mercury, because, he has the winged feet, right? Mm-hmm. And that's all connected to words. So I'm wondering if, with the Mercury, if like the planet will be, an influence for us. Yeah, I'm not an astrologer
right now with it. I know Mercury's in play right now. I don't know if it's going retrograde or what, but
yeah, I think it's going retrograde at the end of the month.
Yeah.
So it could also be like, I'm wondering if like, I don't know if there's going to be like stories that feature the Greek god. I don't know.
Maybe.
Or if there's a movie coming out about it. I don't know. Sometimes I pick up on things I don't know why.
Right.
Major changes and surprises this month. So I think, yeah. So not all of it is by our own doing. It'll be influenced by, those around us. Also like surprises. So it could be like, we didn't see that coming, or, we're surprised by the changes that are occurring. What would you add to that?
I would say surprises coming, but I'm always hopeful for good surprises coming, because I feel like we've been at a low for a really long time, vibrationally. So I think these surprises are going to come with the hard times, like you're saying, like with these equality laws and freedoms, and we're feeling infringed upon. I feel like that's just going to give us a sense of what is freedom. Like, what really are we fighting for here? Really, what does freedom mean to me? And we're going to get very specific about what it means to us. And that will kind of clear. That's like Simone saying, it's hard to do for sure. It really is.
Yeah.
But if you get real specific on what does freedom mean to me, and you express that to another in a different way of what it means to you, you'll find commonalities in that other person. You will. That we all have that in common. We all want to be treated equal. It comes down to equality at its very core right now, you know? And so equality comes from oppression, and freedom comes from oppression. And so that's, I have a more, please, let's let this lead to something. Let's not let this all be for nothing and just we're all broken families and split apart and nobody's talking. Let's come out of that now and find, what do we have in common? Well, we all want to be equal. We all want to be treated with respect and dignity, and we don't want to be screamed at and told we're stupid because we're on one side, a political side, especially these politic games. They have us exactly where they want us, exactly, because all they have to do is put in a little division in there, a little, it's like the girl at work every day bitching about her husband because he cheats on her and all men cheat on her, and you're sitting there happily married and she's telling you, well, yours is going to cheat on you next. They all cheat, And you hear this until you start doubting, well, yeah, does mine really, is he loyal, and it's just right where they want us, because that's how they control. Because you're scared of losing your freedom. So then they can insert more laws to make sure you feel like you're protected. But what about this person,
Yeah.
So it's just, we just need to get to equality, just get to a baseline that we're all human. We all start there, and we have basic human needs that have to be met before our political needs get met, before our relational needs get met. We have to meet basic human needs. And that means you can't just walk by a person starving on the street. You can't do that and get to a better place. You have to understand that they're there for their story. They're on a vibrational pattern as well.
Yeah.
And they're trying their best. We are all trying our best. Nobody says, well, I just hate to hate. Nobody just hates to hate. It's fear. It's fear-based. So get real focused on, what does freedom mean to me? What's the end game here for me?
Yeah. And I'm going to go a little deep here. So freedom is like to be free of like whatever is making you feel lesser than, or making you feel bad, or, that's, I want to say, like on the negative side. So it's like, I want to be free of, like, let's say, of the stress, because I'm tired of feeling stressed.
Me too.
Or freedom is, I don't want to, I want to be free of judgment, because I don't want their choices or what they say do affect my mood, my well-being, right?
That's right.
So like it can get deep. That's what the freedom is essentially about, right? So it's like freedom where, whatever's going on around you is not going to affect your well-being. your state of mind, body, soul, basically.
Yes.
That's not easy to do. And then like, you know, to be free, it's like, you know, I have to, you know, accept that person for who they are, who they're expressing or being. And that's not always easy too, because it can go against your own belief or thoughts, right? It doesn't align. And it's like, you know, yeah, it's just this vicious circle, right?
Yeah, it just puts you in this prison. It really is. I mean, there are individuals in prison who are freer than me, right? It's a state of mind, really, freedom, if we go to the core of it.
The story of Nelson Mandela.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
You know, like he was in prison for over 25 years, I believe. And he wrote, you know, how he found his place of freedom, even though he was in jail for all that time. Like amazing.
Amazing.
So, amazing. So that could be
example.
So that could be something, you know, for some people who are struggling. It's like, well, maybe I'll read his story, or maybe I'll use one of his quotes. You know, it's like, what inspires you to feel free? I think that, and it's going to be different for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Oh, yes, it should be different for everyone. Yeah. That's how we form a society. That is a society, is a group of individuals with their own unique freedoms and beliefs. And we have to honor those beliefs, whether you agree with them or not. Like you said, you have to at least honor, because I want my beliefs to be honored and respected. Yes. So I can't expect that if I don't in return respect your beliefs. So.
Yeah, and I think a lot of us wants to be loved for who we are. Right. And that means that means even the parts of ourselves that you may not agree with or understand.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
Yes, so, absolutely. Yeah. Equality. Let's get
equality.
there.
Yeah.
Equality before freedom.
I just want us to, it's like I want us to be free from all this pain and struggle and suffering. That's what I want us to have, right? And it doesn't matter what it's related to, whether it's because of what's going on in our world right now, or if it's because, you know, you've lived that life, you know, that, you know, where it felt like it's been a struggle all these years. You know, I want us to be free from that.
I want to be free from hypocrites. You know, it's like a society of hypocrisy anymore, you know? Mm. People just touting what they think is right and wrong, but not living it, not acting on that, you know, just telling you what's right and wrong without leading by example. So, yeah.
I want to be free from, now I'm going to get, these are going to be fighting words. I want to be free from the older white men telling me what is right for me. Right?
Absolutely.
In my thought,
absolutely. Yeah. If you live in the United States of America right now, you understand that was the state of Texas. Yes. Yes. Absolutely. Do not make judgment calls on me if you are a white man. No. Any man. Older. No.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
No.
Because it's like, yeah. Yeah.
Women have been oppressed for so long. Why are we still even dealing with this shit? Like, what the hell is wrong with people? What the hell? Why you got to do this? And just oppression. Because it makes them feel bigger and stronger.
Because of the control. They have to find, because it's, you know what? It's almost like, you know, because this is almost 2 years. Okay, I'm going to go 2 years, right? So it's almost like, it's like they're losing control and they're grasping at, okay, what can we do to get back that control? That's what it feels like.
Yeah. It really is.
And it's almost like, you know what? We got to keep pushing back. And that's what the 5 energy is about. We got to push back. So fighting words, taking it to the streets, protest. It's a war. I feel like there's a war.
I've been livid over Texas and women's right in general has always been a thing in our house. Like Michael's right there with me too. Like it is enough of this, of trying to control. What these laws are saying is women are too stupid to decide for themselves. So we're going to decide for you. Yeah. And that is so scary to me. So scary to me.
Me
that
too.
it makes me livid. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's, you know what? They're not doing for our benefit, even if they say it is, or for the benefit of the fetus, or however they're inventing.
Come on. You're not a woman, obviously, if you're feeling that.
And what makes me mad is, where are they?
Right.
When when let's say she's struggling to raise the child, because I bet she's going to be on her own.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, they don't care after the child's born.
No.
No.
So
they'll judge you.
That's what makes me mad. It's like you're forced. There's a forcing and then abandonment, and that's got to stop. It's got to stop.
Absolutely. Stop.
I'm getting all worked up.
Me too. All right, we've got to change the subject.
Okay, let's talk about the crow. Should we?
Yeah.
The spirit animal, the crow.
Yes.
That came through. Interesting animal. Not everyone likes the crow. Some people feel scared of it. Some people love the crow. Murder.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's so many different sayings and about the crow. So when the crow comes up, so it's like, I recommend read the spiritual meaning of the crow, but also look, folklore, there's legends, there's superstitions, there's sayings, meanings, even I think even like movie song, like all that counts, because we lost Julie. It'll all be part of the collective and the meaning, So let's say, I know there's the movie The Crow. So myself, I'm not familiar with the movie. Here we go.
Yes, you go on.
I'm not familiar with the movie. But it's like, okay, maybe if I go watch it, I might find some things in the movie that's like, oh my gosh, that makes sense to our world right now, or to what's going on for me right now. I don't know. I don't know what the movie's about, but I'm just using that example. The Crow.
Oh, The Crow. I think I've seen it.
And it's with
yeah.
Brendan Lee, I think.
Yes, I've seen it.
Then he passed away too after that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, The Crow, So for me, like, some of the things I get with The Crow is like, of course, the speech, right? Because crows are very vocal, and it's like, what are we crowing about? What are we squawking and, gawking? I want to say gawking as well about. And are they falling on deaf ears? Are they valid?
Right.
Also, they're very, very intelligent. Like, they are considered, I believe, one of the smartest species on our planet, right?
Yeah.
They have a good memory. There's stories of them, like, they know who are the helpers. So they will help those who help them. There's stories of that, and it's just remarkable. So I think it doesn't mean like, you go help the crow, but it just means like, okay, this is a month where we got to help each other, because it'll come back to us. If we're going to help, someone's going to come help us, right? So we have to be there for each other this month and try to help each other out. Yes. However that may be, because help can come in many different forms, right? Yeah. What else you were going to say something about the crow?
I was looking in my book because I pulled the crow from my Wild Unknown Kingdom deck, which I love. Yeah. Look how he's sitting on all that spiritual truth too. The crow is very magical.
I know. Yeah, they are very spiritual, I find.
Very spiritual.
Yeah.
But it says the crow energy is potent and should only be tapped into when the mind is clear. So I thought that was interesting. I was trying to read this. I was telling you I hadn't read it, but so that magic energy, and that makes sense too, is to you have to be in a good place to receive the crow's magic, right? Because the mind starts playing tricks with the fear again. Fear once again is in play with the crow, and that's like a systemic fear, right? Because we've been the murder of crows, I think, was a Van Gogh painting or something too. It's always
that's a saying, right? And I think that's how they're looked at when there's more than one, as a group.
Yeah.
I also want to say, and like crows, like some cultures believe like the crow is the messenger of death.
Yeah.
So
I've heard that too.
So not everyone likes that subject, okay?
Yeah.
Because it freaks them out. We got to stop being scared of death.
Yeah.
But that's a different story. That's a different topic for another day. But death, I mean, yes, we're all going to die one day, but also it could be symbolic, like, death as far as like, what is dying in our world or within us. So it could be like a belief, a thought, an action. I mean, it could be a good thing, right? Because it means like something, you're birthing something new, like what comes after death, right?
It's always death and transformation in the tarot. So there's always a transformation after every death in the tarot, which makes sense in life too. You always have that. And we are seeing the death of a lot of our stories too. And that's very playing out, like those vibrational patterns we're falling into. The same things that used to bring me joy, I just can't do it anymore. I'm just bored with it. It's not that I don't like it, but it's not inspiring me like it used to, or it's not
exactly.
I'm not excited to do that like I used to. What's wrong with me? I beat myself up instead of thinking, well, maybe there's something different, that I need to change that story, that's what I do, it just because that's what you've always done. And that goes into the tarot card, like you were talking about with the Hierophant, the number 5, which was funny last night when we both pulled on that. But the Hierophant is really the epitome of outdated systems, systems that need to crash and fall. There's that tower moment, because towers can be good when those systems are crumbling, and they've crumbled. That shouldn't be scary to anybody, that our systems are crumbling, but it opens the way up for new ways, new systems, new programs, new vibrational patterns for us. So there's always a transformation after death, always.
Yeah. And I mean, death for me equals freedom.
Exactly right. There you go.
Right. Yeah. And then in the Northern Hemisphere this month, it's going to be autumn.
Yeah.
So that means like, things are dying, like things in nature are dying, but we all know like spring's going to come, right? It's going to be, there's, new birth. So it's like, see, if we can look at it that way, it can be comforting, I guess. I don't know. Or it could be more peaceful.
Yes, more peaceful. Yeah. Just
more
feeling
peaceful.
Safer. Right.
Yeah.
Hello, Phyllis. So glad you could make it.
Yeah, we got some new people. Okay, and you were mentioning the Hierophant. Yeah, the Hierophant. Yes. You're the tarot expert, and for me, I keep seeing like the Pope with that.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering, I don't know, so I'm wondering if something might occur with the Pope this month, or the Church maybe.
Maybe. But religious,
but also authority. Yeah,
yes.
and so is Texas? Here we're going back to Texas. Is that a religious thing, what they're doing with women's rights?
Yes, it does start with the evangelical church is very prominent there, and it is a religious, belief that it's killing. It's not just men that feel that way. Honestly, I don't want to take that from women. I know a lot of women feel that way, and I do respect your you're feeling that way. I respect your feelings that way. I want you to be able to feel the way you want to feel about that issue, but please respect the way I feel about the issue. See, there it goes again. I do respect you. And if you think that's murder and killing, and I absolutely then don't want to take that. I don't want to change your mind. I don't. But please don't try to change my mind. You know something different than I know, or you have access to different information than I do. I'm a woman. I understand, so it's that demeaning that I know more than you, or I've had different experiences than you, so I would know more than you. But that's just not true. I have my own experiences that show me how I feel about it. So, but I totally respect you if you feel that way. I wouldn't want to change your mind. So again, please don't try to change mine.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's almost like, why is it your business in the first place? That's where I want to go.
Right.
Like, why do you even care? You don't know me.
Yeah. Right.
You don't know my life.
My story. Right.
Yeah. And why are you putting this restriction on me? Because it's none of your business.
Yeah.
And if you were in my shoe, and God, they're probably going to say differently. But if you were to say, like, if you're in my shoes, you might think differently, and they're probably going to, they're on their high horse.
Oh, yes. That's the hypocrisy I'm talking about.
Yeah. So, I mean, anyways, it's
gonna
tough.
Bring about a whole group of new freedoms that we didn't see coming because of it, though. Because as soon as you try to oppress like that, new freedoms do emerge. So.
Yeah.
So the Hierophant, that's why you're kind of seeing the Pope in the original Rider-Waite deck, is considered the Pope, really, and institutional, anything institutional, education, religion, politics, those are all institutions that are really, really in for a shakeup, right? They've been shaken up in the past, since 2008, probably, right?
Probably.
So that's where the Hierophant came into me for this month, because that's what came into my mind was the Hierophant.
Yeah. And it just feels again it feels like it's a male energy to me. And just feel authoritative and like sense of control. And I don't know if that card represents these things, because I'm not an expert tarot card reader, but it also feels like, control, like there's, it's trying to control, hate to say it, our mind, bodies, and souls. Right. And I don't know if that's true, like if that's what it can mean, but that's what I feel when I look at the card.
I think of him as the eternal influencer. No, it's really not a great card, because what he's doing is speaking the gospel, and he has followers. He has listeners that are listening to him speak the gospel. So that's the kind of authoritarian view that you're getting from that, because the card itself is very authoritarian. And we're kind of up for this authoritarian grab worldwide, and they're using fear to do that. And that's where we're at. That's why we're in the energy we're in. But, we need to crumble these systems. We need to crumble these authoritarian systems where we know better, so we're going to make the decision for you because you're not smart enough to make the decision yourself. And that's exactly what they're saying. Yeah.
And it could be too, like they get us so riled up.
They do.
That it gets to the point where it's like, you know what, we're not going to take this anymore. Because I mean, I'm sure our history, it's like, we might little changes here or there, and it's like, okay, it's okay, or we don't, pay attention. But now it's, escalating, or if it gets to, bigger parts of our lives. And I think there's more awareness now. I do believe there's more awareness. People are paying attention more.
You can't escape it. It used to be where I would ignore. Let's take politics, for example. Politics were never a big thing in my life because they didn't affect me.
Yeah.
I felt the mood of them, but it didn't really affect my life too much one way or another,
Yeah.
When things start affecting us personally in our homes, everyone's going to start taking notice. So that's why we're hearing so many different voices and ideas and opinions and stuff. But it's all great. It's all great. It really is adding to this evolution that we are all in. And it's needed. So hello, Shirley. How are you doing? How's your job? I've been thinking about you.
Oh, you got a good memory. I don't even remember.
No, I remember absolutely certain things and situations and people, but I remember that. I hope that's going well.
Yeah. So, do you think we covered? Oh, yeah. And we're rising above it all. That's what we're on the path, So we're trying to, try to rise above it all.
Yes.
Don't get caught up in the pettiness. Don't be fooled, because we know with the communication, the 5 energy, because of the words, like it can be, what's true or not, right? And it's everyone's truth is different as well, right? So I think the way to go is like, being honest. So if you're feeling confused about something, be honest about that. Just say like, I don't know how to, I don't know what to think about this, or I don't know what to say about this. It's confusing to me. It's upsetting. I don't know where to begin. I mean, and that's the way to, to go. That's my recommendation when it comes to truth, is like,
I have to say,
focus on the honesty.
Shirley just exactly did what you were just saying, because she says it's not too bad trying it out. Look at that. She's not putting all of her eggs in that basket. She's adding it to her life. Let's see if this works. Exactly what we were talking about earlier. So
that's right.
You're exactly right. Good for you. Yes.
Yeah.
Be honest about it. Yeah.
Yeah, because I want to say, my hope in all this stuff that's taking place and going down and these restrictions is like, because of the 5 energy, it's not supposed to last. Okay.
Thank God.
Because 5 is about change as well. So it's almost like, they might, I'm not saying like it might revert back, but it's like, it's not supposed to stay that way. So I'm hoping, right? And, God forbid that they might, and I don't know if they're going to be the types to say we made a mistake. And I don't know if this is all a mistake. I don't want to, open up those kind of worms, but it's just the energy of the 5 is like, it's energy that we learn from our mistakes, and it's about making mistakes. And because it's like all these different changes and opening ourselves up and freedom and So.
And we are in these weird times where we were talking about earlier. I was reading something where nobody can claim victory and nobody will claim defeat, So where does this end? Like, where do we go from here when there is no victory and there is no defeat, and there won't be? So what do we do now? So do we just let, and a last ditch effort in any war too is don't let people know the war is over. Keep them in fear, because they can be controlled in fear. So they don't want you to know that the war is over, and the war is over for us, because when you know better, when you know more, you do better. You know what I mean? We know too much to go back now, right? You can't ever go back because you know too much now, as much as we maybe didn't want to know all we know now.
Well, and it's opening up, right? So for some people, it's like, oh, this opened up my eyes. Now I'm going to be more aware of this, right? So that's the good thing. And then some people might be like, it opened up my heart. I'm going to be more loving.
That's right.
Because time is short. Or for some people, I'm going to open up my mind because I learned so much and I want to learn that much more. So there is positives to it.
Yes.
And try to focus on that. Try to be more open, whether that's open your heart more, your mind, your eyes. Some people be open up their mouth. But so just focus on what it's opening up for you, and look on like the gifts and the opportunities it presented, and take that route, right?
Right.
Run with it is how I would want to say, and move forward with that and create. Let's start creating more love and beauty and kinship and caring and support.
Yes.
That's what I would like us all to do.
I want to create bridges. I want to hear commonalities. What do we have in common? I really feel like we know where we disagree in a lot of areas, but what do we have in common?
That's part of your birth path, your soul journey. Yeah.
There you
right?
Go. Get your numbers read.
That's right.
I feel better.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
But I do know we have them. We are all humans, and it feels like a collective suffering on a grand scheme of things. So let's really pull together and say we're suffering, so let's help each other out of this.
Mm-hmm.
What words can soothe me? What words can relax me? What words can calm me down? And just cut out literally the rest. Just cut it out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's right. And that can be like really healing too. Like I find when I'm helping somebody else or helping an organization or whatever, it doesn't matter if it's small or big, I find I feel better.
Oh yeah.
Right? It's healing.
Key. Yes.
It's healing.
Be generous. Be generous with yourself. Yeah. And our hearts are a little guarded and closed. We've been hurt. And we're afraid to really express ourselves for fear of getting beat down, because we hear these rants on Facebook and things. But give generously anyway, because you'll always feel better.
Right. Right. Okay. Well, I think we're coming to the end of our show. Right? We shared what we shared. We thank you everyone for being here. And for those that were in the chat room, we loved reading what you all contributed. Be well this month, right? We're going to be back. So we're going to try to do 3 shows a month.
Yeah.
And so one show will be about the month's energies. One show will be free mini psychic readings, and one show will be a topic.
Yes.
Right? So we're putting out the call. Okay. If there's anyone out there who have any ideas or suggestions about a show topic, feel free to reach out to one of us or both of us. Email, you can send a message on Instagram, Facebook. And yeah, we would like to consider your ideas, right? So show topics can be like, what would be some examples, I guess, if you want to know about tarot, or if you want to have questions about spirit guides, like, we love talking about all this stuff, and we're here to learn and to share and to support.
I think we should have a show on earning income and what does that mean, and like things to help people like think differently about this new kind of, because everybody's in like this gig world now, right? You're trying jobs out, you're not there's no more 40 years at the same company. So how are you earning income, and what are your ideas? Are you putting it into creativity now? Like, are you starting new things? I'm really curious about that, and I think it's a good topic. Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, we can consider that. Yeah.
Give ideas, how to get through. Right.
I know. Yeah, there's so much. There's so much out there.
Yes. So anything you guys want to talk about.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shirley, we appreciate you so much. I mean, you guys are really the reason we're here, honestly. It's you guys. So yeah, please do share. What do you want to talk about?
Yeah.
Let us know. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah. So don't be shy. That's why you can message us. So you don't have to share your idea in a public forum or in a public way. So that's why if you want to email or, send a private message, we won't say like, Bubba, I'm going to say Bubba. Bubba came up with this idea, because it's like, I don't know any Bubbas. So it's like, it's new, it's safe, I think. And then Bubba will show up on our future show. It'd be like, oh, there's Bubba.
Bubba's here.
One. Yeah, he had a great show idea. So anyways.
Yeah, we won't judge.
Yeah. So anyways, we're open to suggestions, and
look at this stupid scammer just coming in right at the last minute.
There we go.
There you go.
They're blocked. They're
Too
blocked.
Late, dude.
Yeah.
Too late.
Okay. Well.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. And again, Julie, happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
I love doing this show with you, and I want to say we're partners in crime.
Yeah, we really are. Thelma and Louise reborn again.
Yeah. Okay, everyone. So have a good week. Have a divine week. Be safe. Stay well. And we'll talk soon. Take care. Bye.
Bye. Bye.